Hey, this is Soldier 7 here reporting for Right Wing Federation, and as you see, this video is going to be about the large protests in Cuba. Now, not that there aren't protests there at all, it's just that there hasn't been protests this large before. I mean, like there has, but it's been like a few decades since Cuba has had protests, these kind of protests. Because usually they're a lot smaller and a little more isolated. You know, if you look at the hidden footage from Cuba, if you look at leaked footage from Cuba, the protests and the police and everything. But yeah, but I think like this is the first time in a few decades that protests have been literally this large. I mean, it's just in multiple places, and so it's not so isolated like the usual protests. So yeah, but the thing is like you got people coming out and come up with their own sources on why people in Cuba are protesting, whether if it's like lack of medical supplies or lack of food or anything, or the government's just not, doing a good job. They're having a little trouble with this and that and so forth. No. I mean, it's not that you can't say that those are true, but at the end of the day, I think the main reason why there are problems in Cuba, why people are protesting in Cuba, I think there's a reason why. And that is, I think it happens to be communism. Yes, I think the main reason why people are protesting in Cuba is because of communism. I mean, we're even seeing leaked footage of protesters talking about how they want freedom, waving the American flag. Yeah. You also even have some people who are saying, well, I guess, I don't know what they're called, like tankies and so forth, claiming that this is a CIA plot. The CIA are trying to start some kind of right-wing rebellion or right-wing revolution to overthrow the communist regime or whatnot, which I kind of find that hard to believe when you got people like Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders and AOC and Ilhan Omar and the squad within the government. So yeah, that's a little hard to believe. And then some people are going to say this is the U.S. embargo on Cuba, which that doesn't make any sense either because Cuba has like other countries it can look to. There's at least 40 countries Cuba can look to for resources, imports, exports, and so forth. So I have a hard time believing that too. And not to mention, a month ago, the UN, which I'm not too fond of, I actually believe the United States should leave the UN. The UN voted to lift the embargo. Only two countries, I mean, were against it, the United States and Israel. Everybody else pretty much voted for it, so yeah. So, yeah. So say what you want, call it what you want. At the end of the day, it's not the embargo. It's not some kind of CIA, US government plot. It's not, mismanagement of the government, which, yeah, that's true. But at the end of the day, the main cause is communism. I mean, this is what communism does. I mean, for the last 62 years, it's brought a dictatorship. And granted, Cuba is not known to be a free country because before communism, yes, you had Fulgencio Batista, and then before that, you had corrupt officials, and then before that, you had Spanish colonial rule. Granted, Cuba is not really known to be a place of freedom, but I'm hoping that one day there will be a day where it will become it will be a free nation. So my message is, to the people in Cuba, the people protesting in Cuba, and even the people of Cuban heritage in Miami, just keep in mind there are people who can hear you and support you, and at the end of the day, hope you succeed. That's all I'm going to say for right now. Comments are open. This is Soldier 7. Thanks for listening.